Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We've got a whole different kind of setup today, but I am going to be doing a get ready with me while I tell you about a crazy story that happened to me last year in 2025 in real estate. If you're wondering, Fit Me Drugstore Maybelline Foundation. So it was probably end of 2024 when I reached out to a seller that needed my help about listing a small and cheap trailer out by the lake in Murray. And so I go out there and I list this as soon as possible. I even helped clean out the trailer. I had brought my dad over there to help me clean out the property. So we get this thing on the market. It's probably fall/Christmas time of 2024. And it sat and sat and sat on the market. It was also just a very unique property that a lot of people aren't, of course, needing to be a cash buyer. So it sat for quite a while. Finally, I had shown this property probably 5 or 6 times, and one of my fellow Keller Williams agents scheduled a showing, and I was super excited because we had only had one other agent other than me show the property. She brought us an offer. She brought us an offer for what I thought the property would realistically sell for in the end. And so we went under contract. The day after it goes under contract, I get a call from another realtor that I don't know. This other realtor goes on to tell me that I was selling his property, and that this was June, by the way, June of 2025. I had bought this trailer I had listed in a foreclosure sale in January of 2025. So how had I gone 6 months with not knowing this? A, B, my seller not knowing, and C, nobody telling me was absolutely insane. I call my seller and I say, did you know that your house was foreclosed on and this is an issue? We're now under contract. He had no idea. My seller has moved 2 or 3 different places since he lived in this property. So whatever mail was being forwarded to him was going to the wrong address. I ended up digging into it, finding the court number, case number, whatever, and asking for records of how my seller was notified. And it was at an address in Nashville where he used to live. Well, he has lived in the Carolinas for the last 6 months or a year or so. This realtor, who I don't know, who now I realize owns this property, is telling me, you need to go get your sign out of my yard immediately, blah, blah, blah. So I'm still wrapping my head around all of this. I go and head out to the property the next day. I pick up my friend from Murray that goes to Murray State, and I have her go with me just to ride with me. It's like a 20-30 minute drive from that area, just to keep me company. And also you lose reception back there when you're going to the property, so it's safer to always have somebody with you. As we are heading down to the property, I realize I have about 25-30 miles of gas left, and only having 25-30 miles of gas in my old car was not a big deal. I've done a lot worse. And so we're headed back, and I realized that my car goes from 25 miles to 7 miles within a 3-minute period. It was not right. Something was wrong. Again, we have barely any reception. It is so hot outside, and I pull over, realize that I've run out of gas. Nobody's going to come help me. So we call my friend's friend. She came with a gas can and tried to save us, and when I tried to put gas in my car, it was just leaking out the bottom. And so I realized we've run out of gas. I told my friend, you go with her. I'm gonna have my dad come pick me up. I don't want you to sit here for hours with me. And then have to sit, after I had just picked up my sign and lockbox from a listing I thought was mine, and it's really not. I had to sit and wait for my dad about 2 hours for him to go get his trailer and come get me. We got my old car on the back of that trailer. I was not planning on selling that car for another year. I wanted to buy my next car in cash. All of this to say, we sold my car 2 days later for cash. I bought another car. in June, July of 2025, and I just paid it off January of this year. Praise the Lord. But it was a bad week and few days, to say the least. So in Kentucky, when you do a master commissioner foreclosure sale, there is a 6-month right of redemption where the seller has 6 months to be able to get their property back. So advising with an attorney, we found this out. The seller wanted to fight for his property back, meaning that since we were already under contract, my seller would have to pay what the person paid for the property, the realtor who bought it, exactly what they paid for it. All this to say, with a $25,000 property purchase and having to pay the realtor plus on some other fees to keep this out of court, apparently, my seller walked away with little to no money at all from this sale, and it was so sad. He was so fully taken advantage of over it, and we moved on past it. But looking back, some people are just so taken advantage of in real estate when you sell and buy real estate, and it's so sad. And the fact that nobody decided to tell me until the property exactly went under contract 9 months after I had listed it was just silly. All of that to say, I owed my client the best possible care, and so I got him what I could. We still closed on the property. The buyer of our property still bought it, and it was just fine. Everything worked out. But that was a very interesting story, to say the least, and a very interesting time in life. All of that to say, I hope you enjoyed this fun little different kind of video, a good story, and there is never a dull moment in real estate.